Well, we can all agree on one thing. This film has came out a few years too late. So in May of 2018, we're going to be getting the highly anticipated adaptation of The Slender Man. Oh boy. And just recently we got our first official trailer for the Slender Man film. And I know it's a bit unusual for me to talk about creepypastas and shit like that, but seeing as how there's nothing else to really talk about, let's discuss this. So the Slender Man film, believe it or not, has been under development hell for quite a few years at this point, ever since his inception, probably thanks to his rise in the Slender game. And thanks to Sony, the film finally got off the ground and was starting to be developed in May of 2016. And when you know that it's Sony that will be developing this Slender Man film, you know that this is a good sign, am I right? Now, to tell you guys the truth, I don't really know too much about the Slender Man, outside of his entire concept and gimmick. That being said, the whole idea of a Slender Man film could actually work. But the real problem with making a Slender Man film for 2018 is the fact that the hype is pretty much dead at this point. But then again, this could somewhat work to its advantage and maybe revive the Slender Man hype train, but I don't think it's gonna work. Because already, it just feels kinda dated. So as far as the main synopsis for the Slender Man film goes, at least in terms of the YouTube trailer at least, in a small town of Massachusetts, 4 high school girls perform a ritual in an attempt to debunk the law of Slender Man. When one of the girls goes mysteriously missing, they begin to suspect that she is in fact his latest victim. Now this to me is simple, straight to the point, and it does sound like something you would expect for a Slender Man film. And they are building up Slender Man to be some sort of boogeyman. A myth, if you will. Now when I watch the trailer, it does kinda seem a bit weird, because on the surface it just seems like a typical horror film, with some creepy imagery that just doesn't really add up to the Slender Man. And I suppose they're just trying to build up to this character by the time the film rolls around, but again it just feels like a typical horror film first and then a Slender Man film second. But again, the trailer's a bit weird because it doesn't really tell you a whole lot about this film. And there's no basic plot on what's going on or what is this Slender Man or even why it's doing what it's doing. And it seems like the trailer itself would prefer to use some creepy imagery first and then reveal the plot second. And honestly, I'm hoping that this trailer doesn't reflect on the final film. Because like I said, despite how dated this whole idea is, there is still some potential in a Slender Man film. Although there's one thing in this trailer that does seem kinda interesting, which is of course all of the children committing suicide after they encountered the Slender Man. Because as far as myths go, that is kinda accurate to how people describe Slender Man, and what would happen when you cross its path. But I don't know, on one hand it does feel like a Slender Man film, but in some other areas it just feels like a generic horror film, and it's just a weird mess. And looking at some of the comments from the YouTube trailer, it does seem like not a lot of people care about this film. Purely because this film is completely outdated at this point, and the fact that it's a horror film, and also it's coming from Sony. And someone went as far as to claim that this film could potentially be the worst film of 2018. To which all of the criticism is completely understandable. But at the end of the day, there could be some promise in there, but I myself don't really have high hopes. So what do you think of the Slender Man trailer, and are you even interested in seeing the film at all? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. Take care and have a good one.